Okay, so it's time. It's definitely time to, make people aware of the things I know about individuals that was not completely honest in certain situations, and it's it's draining because people are being held accountable for their choices while other people are not being held accountable for their choices. And throughout me telling my story, I'm not going to speak about this individual. I'm not going to speak her name. I'm going to speak about her, but I'm not going to speak her name because there's no point. Like, I'm not going after her personally. I'm going after her lies that she actually put out about an individual, that she willingly accepted things, also was willing to recruit people for, the benefit of her. So, with that being said, let's get into it. So, in 2014, at the age of 24, I was roommates with someone that was, I guess, a friend or a family of the alleged victim. And I'm going to call her, I'm going to call her Conniving. I'm going to call the alleged victim Conniving because I don't want to use a name. Once people put two and two together, if y'all watch the docuseries, if y'all watch anything of the case or anything, y'all gonna figure out who I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm gonna call her Conniving. And the woman that I knew that knew her, I'm gonna call her Big and Tall. So Big and Tall asked me if I wanted to move to Georgia. I was like, why not? I'm 24 years old, I have no kids, I'm in childcare, I can easily get a job out there, no problem. New life, new state, let's go for it. We ended up visiting Conniving for a week. Big and Tall had to look for a house, stuff like that. The relationship with Conniving was cool. She seemed fun. Everything was cool. And at the time, she was 34, 35. Not only that, Conniving had 3 kids. Big and Tall had 4. So I'm 24 with these women that are in their 30s, and I'm in the house with them and their 7 kids. All right, so that should have been a red flag for me. But, I worked with kids, so it wasn't no problem for me. So anyways, she came out one day and had a conversation with us. She told me she knew R.Kelly. I'm like, the R.Kelly. That. He's like, yeah, Daddy. And I was like, wait, Daddy, who? She was like, yeah, we have to call him Daddy. But sometimes she called him Robert. So at first I didn't know who she was talking about until she clarified it. Because like I said, she would call him Daddy when she'll be talking about going to see this individual. Ended up finding out that it was Robert, R.Kelly. So, she was talking about how he would buy her gifts, take her out to eat, give her money, stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, that's, I guess that's what it is whenever you're dealing with a person of this status. So, she left, came, came and went as she pleased or whatever from the house or whatever, leaving her 3 kids with the rest of us in the house. But anyways, it was a point of time where she came back from somewhere. I'm not sure where she was. She asked me if I wanted to go with her see Daddy, and I'm like, R.Kelly, right? She was like, yeah. I was like, hell yeah. Like, excuse my language. I'm like, yeah, I want to go meet R.Kelly. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Just in the back of my mind, it was more so going meet a celebrity. Like, it was genuinely going meet a celebrity because, I mean, for one, the man was older than me, way, way older than me. This was an old man, and never once crossed my mind of wanting to even deal with this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, fans fan out, but real fans don't want to actually be with the person that they're fanning out behind. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, that's some people's mindset, I guess. But anyways, I was like, hell yeah, I want to come with you. So she's like, go ahead, get dressed, whatever. I'm about to get ready, whatever. I'm getting dressed, you know. I'm like, yeah, I done my little makeup or whatever. And I go in the bathroom. She was like, oh, no, you can't wear that. You can't wear that. You can't show your cleavage or body when you go and visit daddy. And I looked at her. She has a tracksuit on. I had a V-neck white t-shirt on, so I didn't see what the problem was. But she said I couldn't wear it. So, and I'm, you know, at first I was kind of like, okay, what kind of shit is that? You can't wear what you want to wear. So, I was like, whatever. And then I tried to take the positive out of it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm 24. I'm going with her. She's 35. She's probably going around a lot of people that's her age and older because R.Kelly was older. So I'm like, yeah, let me not put myself out there like I'm trying to be chose. So I went, put a crew neck long sleeve shirt on. Like, the hell with a short sleeve shirt. I put a long sleeve shirt on. It was like, this good. She was like, yeah. So Big and Tall comes in the room. It's like, what y'all doing? Where y'all going? And I looked at her and I was like, well, I'm going with her somewhere. And I knew we was going to see Robert, but I didn't want to say it because I can't invite her somewhere somebody invited me to. So she goes and asks her, you know, where y'all about to go? And she told her where we was about to go. And she's like, oh, I want to go. And the girl, conniving told her no, that she could only bring one extra person. And, you know, kind of did it like that. But no, that's not how that went. Once we got in the car, she talked shit about that girl, which was tore up. But anyways, we get ready. We getting ready to go. We in a car. We're amped up. She's playing this man's music loud as shit. Like, she's singing every song. She's going through them word for word. I'm trying to vibe to it because I don't know the words to the song. So, so I'm just basically, you know, kind of vibing to it. But she's fanned out. I mean, she's up on her wheel. She's like, you know, she's all into it, you know, and I'm, you know, I get it. You're dating him. So, yeah, be excited. You know what I'm saying? And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking it's all genuine. And I ended up finding out later. But anyways, so we're driving for a little while. She gets on the phone with somebody. She's telling the person that we're almost there, whatever. So we get to this neighborhood. I don't remember if we turned around in a cul-de-sac or what, but we ended up pulling up to these gates with this little keypad on it. And we ended up going through the gates. I go through the gates. It's this big house. I mean, huge. Like, I'm like, what? Like, this is my first time seeing stuff like this. You know, I'm from Louisiana. And I'm nowhere close to nothing like this. So we pull up. She parked on the left side of the house. And there had other cars to the left side of the house. And there was some type of building behind the house, which I thought was a building, you know, when I first pulled up. So we get out the car. We walk around the front. The house was brick too. We walk around the front. And I'm thinking we're going to the front door. But then we passed up the front door and went to the other side of the house. And as we go to that side of the house, it's a slope. The driveway started declining a little bit. And once we bust a left, there's this swimming pool, and then there's a door and windows to the left, and then it's the building that I saw on the other side. And this is big. It's like it's connected to the house, so it's not even a building, it's part of the house. So we walk in. We're going to it's some double doors. We walk to the double doors, and there's like a receptionist area. But nobody's at that area. You know, the light is off, or it's like a green light or some kind of color light. Where we go in, we pass that, we bust a left. And once we walked into this walkway, there's like a kitchen set up, like a little mini bar, sofas and stuff. You know, nice little setup or whatever. And we sitting down and she greets a guy. You know, I guess it's the guy that let her in. So, there's this door that has had a keypad on it. And she was like, that's the studio. I was like, oh, okay. You know, and then there's other rooms, you know, other doors. And like, that's other rooms type stuff, whatever. So the person that we were talking to at the bar was like, come on, y'all, we're gonna go watch them play basketball. And I'm like, basketball? It's late out. You know, it's dark outside. So I'm like, no way they about to go play basketball outside. Ain't no way. But we get up, we go down this walkway, we pass up the little receptionist desk. And once we pass up the little receptionist desk, we hook a right. And like, there's this table, there's another little hallway to the side. And he was like, that's the bathroom over there, and the showers and stuff over there. And then we hook a left into these doors, and it's a fucking gym. Excuse my language. It is a gym. It is a full court gym. There's bleachers on this side, bleachers on that side. You know, we walked in, and there were some girls in the corner. They were in tracksuits too, and the people playing basketball. So I don't know where that person went, but they didn't come all the way in the gym with us. So we go in, and there's a guy sitting in the bleachers on the opposite side of where the girls were sitting at. And she was like, come on, let's go walk over there. So she said the guy's name, but I don't remember who he was. But I want to say it was like a cousin or something, but I don't know. I don't remember his name or whatever, but I don't really have much to talk about him about. But whatever. So we go sit next to him. She chopping it up. She ended up introducing me to him. I introduced myself, whatever. We chopping up, whatever. So at this point, they talking and I ain't got nothing to do. But at this point, I'm just watching R.Kelly play basketball like, yo, this is really this man. This is really this man. This is crazy. You know, so I'm just, you know, I'm chilling. So I started going through my phone, you know, because at this point I'm bored. So I'm going through my phone. And the guy was like, you can't have your phone in here. You got to turn your phone off and put it away. I was like, okay, I was just going through it, but okay, I'll put it away. So I had to put my phone away. So they playing basketball, you know, the game in it, and the R.Kelly came and introduced himself to me. I introduced myself back to him. Now I'm gonna tell you this man put his hand out to shake my hand, and when I tell you, I did not know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect, you know, because at this time she had never said nothing about anything. Like, she never talked ill about him. She never said anything about him, even after us knowing that she was involved with him. She was always happy. She was always ready to see him. She was always excited when he texted her. And even like when he called her sometimes, like, I think she probably been on the phone around me with him like 3 times tops. But yeah, so introduced himself to me. Very nice man. Didn't make any gestures of ill, nothing sexual, nothing. Did none of that towards me. Nothing. So he ended up leaving. I guess he went to go shower or whatever. The other guy ended up leaving or whatever. So me and her sitting, you know. No, I lied. The guy was still there. But he was talking to R.Kelly before R.Kelly left. So she tapped me and she was like, you see those girls in the corner? That's the other girlfriends. I was like, oh, snap. She's like, yeah, that's 2 of the other girlfriends. I barely see them, but I've seen them a couple of times. And I'm like, okay. Like, why in the hell I needed to know that? Because, you know, like, I don't even know why you even doing the shit you doing. You know what I'm saying? You talking about girlfriends and you told me y'all together. Like, what kind of shit is that? So, we ended up going back to the first area we was at by the bar. So we're sitting, we're waiting, we're sitting. He comes out of the room with the keypad, I want to say, and he went into another room, and we're sitting, we're waiting, we're sitting, we're waiting, and then she was just like, come on, let's go, because I had to go to work in the goddamn morning. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to be to work for 6. So we ended up leaving. Okay. So it was either the next day or the day after that. We were chilling in her room, and I was laying in a bed watching TV with her, you know, just chilling, cooling. She was like, ha ha ha, daddy's so funny. And I looked over to her and I was like, you know, minding my business, because, you know, I know she was talking about R.Kelly, but I feel like when she said that out loud, she was saying it so I can bite at it, like, oh, you talking to R.Kelly, what you talking about, blah, blah, blah. I'm not like that, because I didn't want to deal with this man. Like, when I met him, I'm not gonna lie, I was not attracted to this man at all. I know he was way older than me, and at the time, I was already dealing with someone, you know? So, of celebrity status at that. So, he had nothing really, you know, I wanted, you know? I was good. So she said it again, and I'm like, I didn't respond to her, but I made that sound. She was like, Daddy asked me to ask you if you want to have a threesome with us. I said, huh? What? No. No way this woman just asked me that. So I was like, huh? She was like, you want to have a threesome with us? I was like, no, ma'am. Why would I want to do that? I was like, I'm already dealing with a person. Why would I want to engage in something with the both of y'all? Why would I want to do that? And it just, I'm like, girl, I live in your house. Why would you ask me something like that? Why would you ask me to engage in something like that with y'all? And the thing about it is, she had never said anything about that, about, you know, dealing with the other girls or whatever. But after she asked me that, everything started coming out. Like, she would leave and she would come back, and every time she would leave, she was all, I don't know what tour it was. I want to say it was the Black Panties tour. I don't know which tour it was during that year in 2014, where she was gone. She was gone, pecan. She was gone. Like, she was never there. You know, and you got 3 children, because at that point, Big and Tall and her kids was gone. You know what I'm saying? Some shit happened. They ended up not being there. So now I'm there with her and her 3 kids. So she was leaving so much. And granted, sometimes she'll have her 2 youngest ones being watched by people in the neighborhood. But her oldest child was home by herself a lot, because I went to work and then I had my own car. So I was all over the place when I was not home. You know what I'm saying? But she was home a lot. She was to a point to where she got in trouble in school and was suspended and couldn't go nowhere and couldn't. So she was home by herself a lot, which was ridiculous. And she was a teenager. But anyways, you know, she started coming back. When she come back, telling me how, you know, they was going this, that, and the third, and how he was promising to pay for her breast reduction because her breast was horrible. She was buying booty pads and stuff because she wanted her butt done. She's like, oh, daddy say he's going to pay for me to get my butt job. And I'm like, okay then, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gone, girl. I mean, you in a relationship with the man, why not? You know what I'm saying? If it's that type of relationship, you know what I'm saying? So some of the stories she was telling me was crazy. Like, one of the stories she told me, which wasn't even a story. One time she went to the studio and she was on a Sprinter. And we was on the phone. And she was telling me how she's like, girl, I gotta use the restroom. I gotta pee. I was like, well, go to the bathroom. She was like, no, I can't go. I can't leave the Sprinter without daddy coming to get me or sending somebody to come get me. And I was on the phone like, girl, is you crazy? I was like, girl, if you don't go use the bathroom, you sound stupid. She was like, no, I can't go to the bathroom. And I'm like, girl, go to the bathroom. She's like, no, I'm going to just stay on the Sprinter and I'm going to wait for them to come get me. I was like, whatever. I said, ain't no way in hell you have 3 children and you waiting for somebody to tell you you could go to the bathroom. I was like, they don't have no store around you, no gas station you can walk to. She's like, I think I saw one up the street. She was like, but I'm not going to leave out the Sprinter. I was like, all right, suit yourself. So she was like, I'm going to call you back. I was like, okay. So she started texting me. And I'm realizing what time it is. Like, the girl hadn't been on a Sprinter for some hours. I don't remember how long, but she was on that mother for some hours. And she finally texted at one point, was like, they finally came and got me out the Sprinter. I was like, well, damn, that's good. You should have been got out of the damn Sprinter. I don't know what you was thinking about. But that was one of the stories. Another story was when she said that, now y'all, this was crazy. And it was just, ugh. She told me how one time they was on the Sprinter and how they was just having sex. And this girl comes from the back of the bus or the Sprinter or one of them. But I want to say she said they was on maybe a bus. But anywho, she was like, the girl came and she ended up having to perform sexual acts on the girl for him. So they both was doing what they was doing with each other while he watched. And I'm like, what? What? Girl, you 35 years old and you cutting up like this? Like, you know, I don't really judge people's sexual life. But at 24 and I'm listening to this woman that's 35 tell me these things, and you already asked me about having a threesome with y'all. So at this point, I'm just like, yeah, that don't seem right. I feel like, you know, something is up, you know. So she just kept asking me to go with her on the tour, being with them behind stage and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, because I'm going to tell y'all why I didn't go with her. And it's crazy because I was 24 and I was this damn responsible. I didn't go with her for 2 reasons. One reason, you hadn't told me all this stuff that you engaged with this man. I was not trying to engage with anything with her, first of all. Let alone the things that she hadn't already said that she did or what happened or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that don't do nothing for me. I don't want to be a part of that. So I ended up not ever going to any of the shows, ever going to any of the trips, none of that. And 2, I was already dealing with my own person. You get what I'm saying? Like, why would I want to be doing all of this with that? You know what I'm saying? Because the whole time, like I said, every time she came back, she was so happy. And she just would talk about, you know, how he did this and how he bought this and how he gave her money and stuff like this. And I'm like, it's starting to seem like you messing with this man so you could get your body done and stuff like that. And whenever she used to sit down there and talk about it, she was like, yeah, because, you know, I'm the one that get the hotel rooms. And that's another thing. So she told me that she knew somebody that worked at certain hotels. And she would be able to get like vouchers for discounts and stuff to get the hotels, because sometimes they'll get 15 plus hotels. Like, damn near almost all the hotels on the floor type shit. Now, I don't know how much she exaggerated about that, but I know for a fact she said she used to get the rooms because of all the girls that they would, like, that would be with them. Like, it was multiple people. It was multiple women. She even told me about how they would just go back and forth to different rooms and just have little orgies with one another. She used to be on the phone with me when she would be in the rooms saying how she's waiting on her turn to spend time with daddy. Like, this was some crazy ass stuff. This was some crazy stuff. And I'm just like, what is really going on in this girl's life? And I'm out here on this stuff, but because I made the decision to not engage in it, I didn't really feel anything towards it, because I'm like, it's not affecting me. It's not affecting me. She was okay with it. She, like I said, she was never ever complaining about anything. She never once talked about how, you know, all this stuff that she supposedly came out about. She never once complained about that stuff whenever she was around me. She always was happy, and she was always talking about how he was going to do this, and he took him shopping and stuff like that. All of that. So, she ended up coming back from a tour one time, and she, you know, she was telling me how, you know, how they had fun or whatever, but then she told me how she was recruited to be the recruiter. And I was like, what you mean be the recruit? What do you mean about being a recruiter? She was like, well, daddy told me that I know what kind of girls we like whenever we, you know, do certain things. So he moved me up to being a recruiter. So what I gotta do is I go in the crowds and I find the girls and I give the girls the wristbands or the backstage passes. So whenever the show is over, they can come backstage and meet us backstage. And I'm like, oh, wow. You really into all of this stuff. You're into it, you know? And it's times where she told me, like, some of them will be with their parents. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, that's it. You know, like, I let her, I just took it in because I just couldn't believe what she was telling me. But at the same time, because I was not dealing with that and I wasn't engaging in any of that type of stuff, I wasn't engaging I was not engaging in any of that stuff. It did not bother me. Okay, but this is another thing, right? So after she started coming out about all of that, she really started like showing who she really was. Like, for instance, her husband, her ex-husband, she never told me what her ex-husband did to her. She never told me, spoke ill on her ex-husband. She never said anything. She just said that they was divorced, and basically at one point the girl was stalking him. The girl was making fake Instagram pages to stalk the baby mama, the new baby mama. And she was saying how, oh, he could take care of the new baby or whatever, but can't pay his child support for his kids or whatever. And she was just being so conniving. Like, she would find out information, look up information, find his job. She's like, yeah, he think he's slick, he got another job, but I found out he got another job because I got somebody else telling me he got another job. Blase, all this. And I'm like, man, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, lady? You're dealing with R.Kelly. Why is you trying to put your husband, your ex-husband, under the bus? Why are you trying to destroy this man? And it's just like, it just was so much going on. I want to say she pressed charges on the baby mama pressed charges on her. It was all kind of stuff going on. You know, but it was none of my business. It was none of my business. I couldn't speak on none of this. I couldn't do none of that. So I mind my business. All right. So it was times where she would come home with so much amount of money, da 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 da, woo woo woo. And come to find out, she was going out of, because she didn't work. When I first met her, she worked online job. She worked an online job. I think it was like a pest control type of job where she sent people out. She was taking these folks' information, keeping it, and using their information to do stuff with. Do what with? I don't know. But she was using it. She was definitely using it. She ended up getting let go of that little job. So then after that, she used to come home with wads of money. Like, what's going on? You don't have no job. Guess what ended up happening? She used to make fake checks and go to different, when she was flying out to supposedly go meet R.Kelly or whatever, she was going to these different states and cashing fraudulent checks. And whenever I realized that's what's going on, I knew the whole R.Kelly thing was all about money. I knew it was all about money. I knew it was all about money, especially when she started doing what she was doing against her husband, which that ended up going bad. Because let me tell you what ended up happening with that, right? Her and her ex-husband was going through it or whatever. Come to find out, the ex-husband lights was in his name. The lights at her house we was living in was in her ex-husband's name. She had to did all that stuff to that man, to that point to that man actually turned the lights off. He turned the lights off. We was in the dark. She ended up having to go buy a generator and put a generator in her garage because this man cut the lights off. I mean, shit. Why wouldn't you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you stalking this man, trying to put this man, this, and the third, and you know, granted, he wasn't paying a light bill. You know, shit, I was paying a light bill because when I was living with her, I was not paying rent. I was giving her $300 to $400 every 2 weeks off a $500 check. I didn't realize what this woman was doing to me until it really started getting real ugly between us. To where it was like, it didn't matter what I did good. This woman found me to be fucked up or messed up. Let me not say that. Let me watch my mouth. But this woman just was so mean towards me. Like, she got to a point to where, you know, she was making threats about me having to get out of her house and stuff like that. And I'm just like, girl, I just gave you $300. Who going where? You know what I'm saying? So, that ended up ending. You know, I ended up not living with her. And this was what, 2014? I ended up not living with her. If she if you see this, if she sees this, if you ever come out and want to tell the truth, you tell the truth about everything. So, wherever you at, whatever. So, we ended up keeping in contact because she called herself apologizing or whatever. And, you know, me being nice, me being the person I am, because I cared about her and her family. I cared about her and her kids. Like, her kids ain't do me nothing. Her kids didn't do me nothing. And I cared about them because she was always leaving these children. She was gone so much. You know, and the little girl was active. You hear me? The oldest daughter was active. But anyways, that's her and her kid. So we ended up still communicating. I communicated with her in 2015, 2016, and 2018. I visit her times. I mean, it was times where I was helping her move into another house, into the neighborhood, because she couldn't live in that house no more. I ended up helping her move. You know, she was living at a hotel with her kids. You know, and I'm just like, how is it you running after this man? You going to all these locations. When I tell you this woman was everywhere, and she kept asking me to go. I'm like, why you keep asking me to go with you around this crazy stuff? And I'm just thankful to God that my decision to not go was the best decision I could have made in my whole life. because I never wanted anything to gain from our relationship, me and her's relationship, and even had I dealt with that man, it wouldn't have been on what I can get from this relationship. So, fast forward, I got a text message from her in 2017. At this time, I'm in school. And I got a message from her in 2017 where it was a link to some type of YouTube video, and the title was like R.Kelly exposed type situation, whatever, whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay. 2018. I'm getting ready. I finished school. My whole plans was to move to Atlanta. You know, me and her talking, you know, she's basically telling me how she apologized for how our friendship went because you know, supposedly because of something she was going through or what she was dealing with the R.Kelly situation, which was a lie. Because what she did to me, that didn't have nothing to do with that man. That had absolutely nothing to do with that man. She was just upset the fact that I, as an individual, made decisions to not engage into BS and not live or try to live a lifestyle that's out of my means. And that's what she was doing. But anyways, 2018, she did this whole, I see you trying to move to Atlanta. You know, why don't you let me make it up to you? I have a new house. It's a lot of room over here. You could come over here. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. For what you already put me through, it's kind of like, I don't know. You know, and I'm just like, everybody need a chance to redeem themselves when it comes to wrongdoing somebody. You know, you can forgive a person. And with me already wanting to plan to move to Atlanta to get myself together, I was like, I was weighing out my options. I was putting in my mind, I was like, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to get my job. I'm going to get a car. I'm going to go ahead and get myself, you know, go to shops, get myself up and going. So we communicated about it. And at that time, she was telling me how she was getting ready to take a trip out of town. And if I could, to come sooner than later, because she wanted me to watch her kids. And I'm like, I miss the kids. I miss being around them. Why not? I'm out of school. Let's take this leap of faith. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it, girl. Let's do it. So I moved. I moved back to Atlanta. I moved in with this girl. Oh my goodness, y'all. Me making wrong decisions again. But it's okay. It's okay, because everything that I was coming with was genuine. What she was giving out was not genuine, and I ended up finding that out. Okay, so while I'm there, you know, certain situations happen. That's besides the point. You know, like I said, this isn't about the relationship me and her had. It's just the things that I witnessed while I was there that's pertaining to some of the situation that she came out about, being a victim in the R.Kelly situation, which I'm knowing she's lying about. So that's what I'm coming out about. But anywho, so I'm living with her. She's going, like, this girl is preparing herself. She is preparing herself. And while I'm there, because when I moved there, she had just got her butt done. So she was recovering from that. And she was about to drop her book in November. I moved back down there in July. I want to say July or August of 2018. So she dropped her book November 2018. But anyways, I ended up, when I moved with her, I ended up, you know, I got to a place of being manipulated by her. since she thinks that she was the only one being manipulated, I got to a place of being manipulated by her because she had never once told me about her family members, none of her abuse that she ever encountered, anything. And I've been, you know, in communication with this girl for years. You know, she never told me about none of that. She was just always complaining about her baby daddy not wanting to give her money for her children, whatever. But at this time, when I moved down, a video of her daughter talking to her ex had came out on YouTube. Basically, the ex had called the daughter and had a whole conversation. The little girl just spilled out about her mama. Told her everything, and she wasn't lying because I lived with her. I lived with them. She was not lying. That little girl was telling the truth. She aired her mama out, and her mama was pissed off because why would you be on the phone talking about me to somebody now that's getting out on the internet or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Like, she was pissed off at her daughter for coming out and telling the truth about how she was and what she was expecting, and why she was doing it is because it was money and it was for her getting her body done and all that. It was all for gain. It was for extortion. It was for all of that. She was always talking about how she was never deleting no R.Kelly text message. I got all the text messages. I'm not deleting nothing. Wow, all of this stuff. Okay, so she ended up letting me read her book. I read her book, y'all. When I tell you, I felt so sorry for this woman. I felt so sorry for her, and it was like, damn, you went through all of this as a child and blah, blah, blah. And at this point now, I want to defend her. Like, that reverse psychology shit, well, that reverse psychology stuff is real. She had then turned in my mind all the bad stuff, even the stuff that she had done to me, even the stuff that I saw do to other people. Point, okay, what I mean by other people, okay, not besides myself, because like I said, it ain't about me. Before I moved down there, I was on the phone with this girl one time, right? She was telling me how she had went to her ex-boyfriend. Her ex-boyfriend was that man that was on that video when they did that news interview when she supposedly came out with the Savages about the Savage's daughter or whatever. The little girl is in the background, okay? So, but the person that's being a support system for her was the ex. And one time I was on the phone with her and she was telling me how one time she went to his house and it had a woman in the house, and the girl got mad because Kanami got mad because her and the man wasn't dealing with each other no more. And I was like, you know, that's besides the point. But what she ended up doing to get back at this man had I want to say a halfback company. A halfback company, whatever, where they worked on air conditioners and stuff. And the truck with all the tools and stuff and whatever, his work truck was the truck that they used. And she was the person that got all of his business, like booked the appointments for him and stuff like that. But after they broke up, you know, she wasn't a part of it no more. And to get back at him, one night I was on the phone with this girl. It was raining. She went and put M&Ms in this man's work truck. Yep. She went and put M&Ms in this man's work truck and this man's gas tank. That was some ill shit. Now you just trying to break down. You just trying to break people down. Like, the girl was going for the jugular. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. Anyways, whenever I moved back in with her and, you know, she talked about him or whatever, but I didn't realize at the time that was that man that was on that video. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, she gave me the book. I read the book. I felt sorry for, you know what I'm saying? But some still didn't add up to me because it was like, in her book, she was talking about how she was abused by her mom, how she was abused by her family in one part. The other part was how she was abused by her ex-husband. And then you're abused by R.Kelly. How is it you never got no help? Which I want to say at one point she did get help when she was homeless from this lady. And that lady was actually living in the house with her too when I moved in with her. So she was trying to use this lady too. Like, she preyed on people that she knew was trying to get ahead in certain situations in life. And she knew that in order to get us to take the load off of her with her kids, moving us in her house was going to help. And that's what it was. Like, we were supposed to go there to get ourselves together, but it was more so helping the kids. And like I said, I had no issue helping her with her kids, but it was getting to a point where this woman straight up told me, why don't you just live here at this house? I'm going to let you keep the car. I'm going to pay all the bills. You ain't got to worry about food, because she couponed. So she's like, you don't have to worry about food. You'll be all right. Just make sure, the kids go to school and da-da-da-da-da. And, her daughter was, into extracurriculum stuff. And she wanted me to be the one to bring her to and from and get her ready for, just a whole bunch of stuff, baby. Because at the end of the day, these are your children. Like, I'm helping with the oldest child and the grandchild already. I'm already doing enough. So this is what she had planned for the lady too. And it's crazy because at one point this lady, and I thank her, I forgot her name, I thank her because she shed light on me. Like telling me, like, baby girl, get on it so you can go. Don't stay over here. Don't stay trapped, because I see what she's trying to do to me and she's trying to do it to you. That's why she moved you in, because I'm not with the BS. And I'm like, you sure is right. You sure is right. So, the lady wasn't having it. The lady ended up going back home. She wasn't having it. She ended up going back home because she basically wanted me to stay there. And, well, she wanted to lay there first, but lady wasn't having it. But she ended up wanting me to stay there while she moved to California and get some type of condo or loft or something. I want to say a condo with supposedly one of her other friends. And I'm like, what kind of friends you have that's going to encourage you to leave your 3 children and a grandchild in Georgia to go to California and live your best life in California? That's because the bitch wanted to be a goddamn celebrity. This girl will go and fly out to get her hair done. Now, she had been doing that since when she first was dealing with him in 2014 through, 14, 15, 16, I'm sure 17 and 18. Her same hairstylist. And I'm like, what kind of friends do you have that's not encouraging you to stay home and be with your family and be around your children? I never understood it. But anyways, and I'm just looking at her like, no, girl, I'm not trying to live here with y'all. Like, I want my own life. Like, I came out here to get myself together, not to be your live-in nanny. So, she was, like I said, she was preparing herself. She had just got her butt done. She was planning to get her breast done. Just all that type of stuff. So, while I'm there, it was one situation where the doorbell rang and her child answered the door. And it was this lady and this man came in, right? Come to find out, that was the Savages. They came in, they was telling her they was getting ready for a concert. They was getting ready to go to a concert and they was coming to her house to pregame. So, I was like, why are they so comfortable? And after a while, when I realized who they were, I'm like, isn't your child supposed to be being held against her will? and y'all coming over here to pregame before a concert. The man go inside. I mean, he was just so weird. He come up in there going straight to the refrigerator. The wife go up in there looking in the cabinets. They had little conversations about I want to say a car. I want to say like one of the daughters. I don't know if it was the daughter that was dealing with R.Kelly or the youngest daughter, but something was going on with a Mustang, some type of vehicle, which I want to say one of her children, their child had got the Mustang but couldn't drive it because the parents wanted it. But the girl had bought the car, but the parents didn't want to give her the car. I want to say it was the baby sister, the Savage's little sister, the Savage's younger daughter, had a car, and they didn't want the girl to get the car because they was afraid of what she was going to do, because the oldest daughter, was dealing with R.Kelly. But I say that all to say this. These folks was so comfortable, and knowing that this woman was the woman that supposedly went into, well, not supposedly, she told me she went into the crowds and the audiences at the concerts, and handpicked people, and sometimes the parents would be there. So I'm like, that's what really went on with that. So I do have reasons to believe that the Savages and her was in cahoots. Because like I said, these people went to her house, went straight to a refrigerator. Like I said, the daddy went in there, poured himself some wine. The mama eating pickles out the cabinets and stuff. Like, they all kumbaya, and they all, they in cahoots. I ain't never saw no stuff like that. But anyways, I saw that, and outside of that, the relationship ended between me and her. I ended up not staying there once again, but this time I was grateful because, and if you want to come out and tell them how I ended up not being there again, you let them know. I don't have to air you out. I'm fine. I don't have to tell the world what you did to me. But for somebody that's an advocate and want to help women and young females, you definitely put me through some stuff, but I'm going to tell you what's the difference between me and you. I was genuine the entire time when I was your friend, and I just feel like whenever I left, I never wanted to be in contact with you again or anything. Because I know what type of person you are. But I hope you see this too. I really do hope you see this. But it ain't even for you. It's for the world to know that you actually had a motive. You wanted to get your breasts done. You wanted to get your butt done. You wanted to get your tummy done, or whatever. And it didn't happen. It did not happen. So you came out about this man. That's some foul stuff. And this man is about to lose his life because you initiated everything. You initiated everything. And for you to make that choice to deal with this man for almost 4 years, and all of a sudden, because you supposedly knew about it whenever you was in the Sprinter and couldn't get out, you couldn't use the bathroom. So why would you move in with this man? Why would you move in with this man if you already knew he was on some controlling stuff? But that wasn't the case with you. You actually wanted stuff from this man. You wanted money. You wanted the fame. You wanted all that. And now you got it. Now you got it. You came up off of this from all those ill intentions. And I hope that this gets to you, and I hope that you see this, because you're wrong. And you're never going to heal. You're never going to heal unless you be honest and tell the truth about what you did to this man. Because that whole time you was talking about keeping text messages and to extort them and stuff like that. You was keeping pictures and stuff like that. You know you did that, and you know you wrong for that. You know you wrong for that. I hope you can find it in yourself to come out and be real. Because that's all it was about. And I guess you didn't get it, so you call yourself coming out and talking about this man. But anyways, enough of that. Because now it's upsetting me again. It's upsetting me again because somebody's really, like, I don't understand how he's been held accountable when they had choices too. When she had a choice. I don't know about all the other women, but she had a choice that she actually wanted to do all of those things. She actually saw the little girl the year prior to coming out about it. So when you saw her the year prior, why didn't you come out about it then? Because you were still holding on to the idea of getting your breasts done and getting your butt done. That's sad. That's sad. You don't do stuff to that like that. Now you sitting out here wanting to be this, you know, nobody should have to go. You really cried wolf, and you should be ashamed of yourself because you actually took away from the real victims that really experienced stuff. But let me calm down. Okay, y'all. So, cause I'm just fed up, y'all. I know how it feels for somebody to lie on you for choices that they made when dealing with them. And it's just unfair. You know, she went through all this mental stuff with her family and her husband, and I get that. And she should have sought help. I was helping her. It's times when she cried with me, and I told her I would be there for her and the kids, but she didn't want me to be there in that type of way. She didn't want that type of help. Even with the older lady, she didn't want that type of help. She didn't want that. She wanted the fame. And she did not stop until she got it. If it meant lying on an individual. And I'm not saying that what they did, she's not saying that what they did didn't happen. But for you to sit down there and say that this man was holding you and you couldn't get out, you're a liar. You talk about this man wasn't feeding you, you're a liar. You are a liar. And it shouldn't be okay. It should not be okay. You did stuff, hurt people. You should not have went and did that to that man. Because you was hurt. You was hurt by your ex-husband. You was hurt by your ex-boyfriend because your ex-husband cheated on you. Your ex-boyfriend cheated on you. But then all of a sudden, this man is the one that mentally destroyed you. That was your breaking point. Girl, bye. Now this man suffered stuff, his childhood. Him growing up. This man going through mental stuff too, and he made choices, yes. And now he has to lay in the bed for it. Where your bed at? It's time for you to lay in your bed, sis. It's time. It's time for you to lay in your bed, because it's a lot of people's lives that you done came across that you just tried to wipe them out because you were so hurt, and that's not fair. So it's time for you to be held accountable for your lies. It's time. But I really hope this video gets out. I really hope this video gets out to the right people. I don't care. I know it's going to be people coming out saying, why I waited so long? Why she waited so long? Why she waited so long? If she could wait so long to gather up all this bad stuff about this man, why not me wait so long to tell people how this man was not nowhere close to being the monster they sitting down there saying that he is? This man ain't do nothing to me. I had a choice. And the choice I made, this man respected the choice I made. He, like I said, I ain't never said he never approached me with some wanting to have anything sexual with me. It was her. She asked me to engage in stuff with them. She asked me. The same way everybody else got his phone number. Why he ain't give me his phone number? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. That was you. You was trying to recruit me. And then to find out years later you supposedly became a victim or stuff. And you made me believe that. You made me believe that. But no. And then people steady want to kick him down. You know, why he's already down. Now you got somebody else coming out about him after years of experience. Well, why she didn't come out sooner? You know what I'm saying? I just think somebody needs to really speak up on this man. Everybody talk about all the bad stuff. There's so many of them women talk bad, but talk bad about yourself. Talk about the bad stuff y'all did. Talk about that. That is ridiculous. That is sad. And I hope that it gets out. I hope that he gets another chance to get his freedom. It's too many black men that get locked up for stuff that people choose to do. Y'all was adults. Girl, you was an adult. You was an adult and I was an adult. But I showed you that I was more adult than you by not accepting those type of offers that you was making me, because I already knew it was ill will. You was trying your best. And that's why I'm so happy. I'm not in no light of trying to tear down a black man for a choice that I could have made to better my life. And then you got children. Girl, listen, y'all, I apologize for getting riled up like that, but it really eats at me. And like I said, I hope that this helps this man. I hope that it gets to the right people. I hope that y'all like and subscribe and share this, because it needs to be said. It needs to be said. We have to help this man. I understand this man, and I'm not shading and taking away from the real victims that he might have caused harm to. But this one individual does not deserve to be sitting in no light as a victim for choices she made. Period. So with that being said, I'm done with it. Y'all like, y'all share, whatever y'all have to do to get this to other people. Let it be known. One of them women was foul. And I hope y'all add it all up and find her. I hope y'all add it all up, because I'm not even saying her name. I don't have to say her name. I'm going to let y'all do y'all own work about it. Thank y'all if y'all watched it all the way through. I appreciate it. I want y'all to know that this is my secret that I've held. And I'm knowing that this could possibly help this man. And I just feel like at this time it's right. He's given a second chance. He's going to get a second chance. I believe that he's going to get a second chance to speak his truth.